Hey all, Tony Bing here. Hello and welcome to another beginner's guide. For this video we will be showcasing Daredevil, the man without fear. Now in these beginner's guide videos what we do is we have a look at various characters available in Marvel Heroes Omega. We look at their primary attributes as well as their offensive and defensive traits, and if they have a unique resource we certainly check that out as well. We then have a look at a few of their costumes, we look at their signature and ultimate skills, and finishing up we do some gameplay showcasing the skills. Now I will just mention, when we showcase the skills, that's not a build I'm actually showing off because there has been some confusion around this. It's merely a selection of skills that thematically fit together for the gameplay segment that I show off. So for example, if a character had a mixture of melee skills, I would just group them all together and I would show them off. Then in the next section in the video, if they had range skills, I would group them into that particular section and show them off as well. So don't go following these as builds. Build videos are ones that I'll probably do at a later date, but this is just intended to be an overview of the character. So first up anyway, we'll have a look at Daredevil's attributes, traits and resource. Starting off here then, we have a look at the offensive trait, and this is Devil of Hell's Kitchen. Now with it, he gains a 15% critical hit damage bonus. Now for the archetype, that is Scrapper. Now I've actually noticed that the archetype's been completely removed from the PlayStation version, and to be honest it doesn't really mean much. It's essentially a name, but that's where it ends. So I do only have 4 beginners guides left to cover the 38 that are on both platforms, but from this point forwards I won't mention the archetype anymore because it's not really relevant. But the damage type anyway that it gains a bonus from, it would be the fighting and speed attributes. These are both great. Fighting gives you crit rating multiplier and speed gives you the all important dodge rating, because when you're on Daredevil you want to be dodging enemy attacks. At least that's how I feel the character should play. For the defensive trait we have honed senses, so you're able to see the enemies on the minimap, which is great. I love the flavour aspect of that. He's got his radar so he can see everyone. He has a flat 3% dodge chance, and then for the actual defensive multipliers you have deflect and dodge, and finally you've got melee combatant, which provides him with the 8% flat damage reduction. For his resource we've got 2 options here. So this is called stamina and combo points, and it does what it says in the tin really. Primary resource is stamina. This regenerates at a rate of 10% per second, and spending stamina does not cause its regeneration to be paused. So essentially you want a large enough stamina pool so that you can maintain the skills you're casting off. There's a few other heroes that are like this, like Spider-Man for example. You want a high weapon pool so he has enough sustain. So bear that in mind for characters that have the flat regen rate. You want to get their resource as high as possible so you can sustain your spenders. For the secondary resource we have combo points. So this is for example at Luke Cage or She-Hulk, where opener powers generate combo points, finisher powers spend combo points to deal additional damage, and when you reach maximum combo points, which is 5 combo points, you emit a radar ping that detects nearby enemies and makes the next finisher or tornado kick used on them deal double damage. So that's pretty great. Now I will also mention as well that if you're not a fan of the combo point system, sometimes it can be a pain to juggle 2 resources, then there is a talent that allows you to remove it altogether and simply change his finisher skills to 8-second cooldown skills. So that option is there. But what we'll look at next in the video is we'll check out a few of his costumes. The first costume we look at is the default, and this is a modern look. It's pretty simple as with most of the default costumes, but despite that it does look pretty nice. We then have Marvel's Daredevil. So this is from the Netflix show, and I really do like this costume a lot. Initially I wasn't keen on it, but it really has grown on me. And then we have another one that's from a comic run, but it's essentially from the Netflix TV show as well, and this is a Man Without Fear costume. It looks great, and there is a variant of it where he's all bruised and battered as well that I really do like. But next up, let's have a look at the signature and ultimate. For the signature we have a skill called Devil's Due. Now it is a simple enough skill. You'll actually leap all the way into the air and then smash down with a crash down strike. So you've got the initial damage packet. What it does do, which can help out, is it generates max combo points. So what you want to do is use one of your hard hitting finishers to spend all your combo points, and then as soon as you've done that, cast a signature, and then you can hit another hard hitting finisher straight away again. So next up anyway, we'll have a look at the ultimate skill. For the ultimate skill we have the awesomely named Man Without Fear. So with this one you'll bounce around the screen, you do 20 separate hits, and on top of that for the actual duration you gain critical hit rating, and also at the end of all the hits you'll call in Electra as well. So overall it's a simple enough skill like the rest of his skills, to be honest, but it is the nature of his character, but I still do like it. I like the pairing up with Electra. But next up what we'll do is we'll do a run through of the Shocker Terminal, or Shocker Operation as it's also called, and we'll show off the first set of his skills. First skill we'll look at here then is Main Melee Spender. Now he does actually have 3, and we'll show off another one of them later on in the video, but for this one we're showing off. This is Assault and Battery. So with this you pummel enemies with your club strikes and kicks. This will generate combo points. It actually also restores stamina, and on top of this you gain a buff effect where you gain increased damage rating, and other main spenders offer other benefits as well, and we will cover them in the next section. Next skill we have is Slide and Strike. So you'll slide in and you'll hit the enemy and stun them for 2 seconds. On top of that you'll generate a combo point. Now if you use this when you have no combo points, you end up generating 3 combo points in total, which is really pretty nice. We then have Apprehend. So with this one you'll throw out your club with its connective cable and you pull the enemies towards you. So you'll generate 2 combo points using this. You'll weaken the enemy as well. It does however have an 8-second cooldown there, but it's good for pulling enemies towards you so you can start pummeling away on them. Next up we have Rebounding Club. So you'll throw out your club and it bounces between enemies. You'll do the initial damage pack on them, but it actually leaves a dot for 6 seconds as well and makes the enemies vulnerable. So this is pretty important to have in your kit, this skill, and when you throw it out it will hit a total of 8 enemies. If there are pieces of scenery nearby and a single boss, what it will do is it will bounce between the scenery and the boss, so in turn you would get 4 hits on it, so do just bear that in mind. You also gain 2 charges on it as well, so it can be good for clearing trash. You can throw it out, keep moving, and the dot will be on the enemies to take them out, and you've got the 2 charges as well, of course. The next skill we look at is a pretty great looking one. I do like this. This is Street Sweeper. So you'll leap in the air and you bounce between the enemies, striking them as you pass. So you've got the main damage packet on it. It will actually hit 3 enemies, however you hit an additional enemy per combo point. So you could hit up to 8 enemies in total, and actually based on the number of combo points you have, you gain a damage bonus of up to 100% as well. Final skill we look at, one I've just used there to finish off Shocker, is Relentless Justice. So you start swinging around your nunchucks and you can move at the same time, so this can be a pretty useful skill. So next up we'll cover the remainder of his skills with a run through of the Kingpin's Warehouse. So we start off here by looking at the main spender. In this instance it is Staff Strike. So with this particular one, when you're using it you'll reflect projectiles on activation if they're coming towards you, which is pretty great. It will generate combo points, restore stamina, and like the last skill it gives you a buff. This particular one is Deflect rating. Another spender we have, which we won't be showing off, is the nunchucks, and with that you actually gain, it would be, let's see, attack speed you gain on it. So you can either spec into gaining damage, deflect rating, or attack speed. We then have a finisher skill, and this is Jump and Strike. So you want to use this when you've got max combo points. If you do, if you have 5 points, you actually gain a total bonus of 100% damage bonus, and it gains a huge 50% critical hit chance. So with good gear you're essentially looking at having a 100% critical hit chance, because you should be hitting round about 50% yourself anyway. The next skill we have is a great one, and this is one that we use after using the finisher, and we can actually only use it after using the finisher at max combo points. This is Tornado Kick. It has a 100% brutal strike chance, and that has to be used. It's within 3 seconds of performing a finisher at max combo points. But this is a great skill, and if you spec into brutal damage you can do a huge amount of damage with this particular one. We then have Club Sweep. So this is actually a main spender, and this one, it doesn't generate combo points or buff you like the other ones does, but it actually does bonus damage against weakened enemies and it knocks them down, and it's got a pretty good area on it as well, so it can be nice for clearing trash. The next skill we look at is another one that can actually be good for clearing trash, and this is Whirling Club. You can see me showing it off at the moment. So with this particular one, it will slow the enemy as you whirl your club round, It gains a damage bonus based on the combo points. That's up to 100% damage bonus it can gain, and on top of that you can also get spirit cost reduction of 20% per combo point spent when you use this particular skill as well. So what we'll do, we're almost at Dr. Octopus. We'll start to fire off all these skills so you can see them. You can see the radar ping a moment ago, giving him that nice red aura in the buff. I really do like the actual animation on the Staff Strike. It's possibly my favourite spender for that reason. I'm not too keen on the deflect, but the animation looks great. There we go, that's Dr. Octopus down. I hope this beginner's guide video was useful for anyone that's been waiting for it. I know it's took a bit of a time, so apologies for that. We have 4 more beginner's guides to go, and then we have all the heroes covered that are on both platforms, so hopefully in the next week or so I'll get them finished. But once again, thanks for all your support with these guides, and I'll see you all again soon.